Radio.
What's up, everybody? Welcome on into Rag House Radio as I interview girls and women doing awesome stuff. In studio, I have the amazing Ehmandah. What's up, Ehmandah?
What's up, April? How are you?
How does that sound?
Bring on the crowd.
There you go. We have an awesome show this evening. We have a giveaway from Whole Life Soap, so stay tuned for that for the details so you can call in and win an amazing gift. They have the best products, and they're local. They're from Wrightwood, California, so you will be supporting local businesses. But for right now, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Hi, I'm Delilah, and I own Hotbox Vintage in South Pasadena, California. At Hotbox, our goal is curating vintage pieces that you can't live without. Our collection includes everything from the 1940s to even the early 2000s. What excites us is eclectic and unconventional style, since there's no one-size-fits-all approach to fashion. Hotbox is priced for accessibility so that literally anyone can discover some vintage gems of their own. Plus, it's sustainable. Find us on Instagram and use code RAGHOUSE at checkout for 20% off your first order at hotboxvintage.com.
That's right. So you heard Rag House Radio is sponsored. Well, actually, Rag House Media is sponsored by Hotbox Vintage out of South Pasadena. Delilah is amazing. She, like yourself, has been an entrepreneur for like 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah, hence the name Hotbox Vintage. She started her vintage shop in this like little room with no air or anything. So
Wow.
yeah, so make sure you jump on their website, hotboxvintage.com. Check out their stuff. Thank you so much for my outfit today, Delilah. And if for your first purchase, you get 20% off. So make sure you punch in the code RAGHOUSE. All right, let's start. Ehmandah, what's up?
Man, so much is up, April.
Yes.
Just happy to be here. Look, to be out the house, right?
Yes, to be out of the house for sure.
Yeah, but lots has been up. Good stuff, so I'm happy to be here.
And although, I mean, you're out of the house, but that sounds like you're not doing stuff. You've been busy.
Yeah, if you know me, I've been busy.
You're always busy.
Yes, there's no rest for the weary.
There is no rest for the wicked on my side. I like the way you threw in that weary. That's cute. So if you guys don't know, now you will know, Ehmandah has been an entrepreneur, musician for many, many years. I so look up to you because I've just started my entrepreneurial journey not too long ago. So let's start off though. I'm so excited to hear your story about your journey in music and how it began.
Wow. I come from a family of musicians and preachers and pastors. So it's just a natural gift for my family. So I probably started actually touching the keys when I was about 7 years old.
Wow. Was that in church?
At home.
Oh, cool.
At home. I didn't branch into doing things in church. I didn't want to until my father and my sisters pulled me out from my mom's shoulder. And I used to lay on her shoulder every Sunday. They're like, you need to make her join the choir. But let me go back.
Yeah.
So about 7, I started playing the keys, and my parents was like, oh, she has the gift too,
Uh-huh.
And so they put me in lessons, and I took lessons and everything, still having the natural gift to play by ear. So I needed to learn the theory, music theory, and all that good stuff.
Nice.
And so that was the beginning of me stepping my foot into music. So then when I probably turned about 10 or 11, my dad would make me play for him at church when he would sing during church service. He's a pastor.
Oh,
Okay.
Your dad's a pastor. Now, are these churches here in Southern California?
Yes. So
Oh, cool.
he was a pastor at Emmanuel Church, was a church that he started in San Dimas.
Oh, local.
Yeah,
So you're a local IE girl.
I'm local, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So he had me play, and that's kind of where I really learned how to finesse my gift of being an artist. I think is with my dad, because he would just call me out like, Amanda, come play. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know this song. What are you doing?
But that's how people learn quick.
Yeah.
I know that's for me. Like with radio, they're like, you're on. I'm like, what?
Throw you in there, right?
Uh-huh. Throw you with the lions. Yeah.
Right. So he had me play for him, and then I started singing I've always sang like in choirs and stuff when I was younger, but my sisters, like I said, would tell my mom, she needs to stop laying on you every Sunday. She needs to join the choir like everybody else. Because I'm a baby. I'm the baby of the family.
How many kids?
6 of us.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I'm the baby. And they're like, she needs to do that. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't even want to do it, but I was forced to do it. And then from there, I got a job being the minister of music or church musician when I was 16.
Wow. And that's young for that big job, right?
Yeah, at 16. Like,
oh my goodness.
Teaching choirs and doing parts and everything. So that was my start of me really being deeply involved in music. And so then probably I had a daughter. Can you believe that?
I did. How old is she?
She's 25.
So she's okay. Right away when you said daughter, I was thinking a young daughter, but she is young.
Yes.
She's young.
Yes.
But she's an adult.
She's an adult.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
what's her name?
Ashanti.
Ashanti. What's up, Ashanti?
And she plays guitar as well and sings.
Of course she does. If she comes from your family, right?
Yeah, she's super talented.
Great.
So that's when I started to really work on my music. I was married, divorced. But when I met my ex-husband, he was a musician as well.
Of course.
He played like drums, keys, bass, and all that. And then being in that relationship with him is where I learned how to write.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't even know that I had this skill. I wasn't even interested in writing. I was just more so singing. But being with him, that's when I learned how to be a writer.
How cool. Now, was he the influence behind that? Or did it just somehow you started to evolve into writing music?
Definitely the influence. I mean, being married to somebody that's involved in music, you know, two creatives, you have a lot of time with each other.
How fun.
So we make some great music, yeah.
God, I wish my fiance probably wishes I'm sorry, babe.
Yeah, so we, even though our relationship didn't end well, but we, you know, healed our relationship between each other.
Nice.
Before he passed away, but
Oh.
yeah, that's where that came from.
My condolences. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So just being raised with all that, which I'm so jealous, which I was telling you earlier, I wish, you know, like I said, we always had music coming out, you know, in the car, in the house, everywhere, pool parties, but no one, you know, really jumped into the singing. I tried. I remember I tried. I did like a fame skit, you know, at my elementary school. Everyone started laughing once I take a look at everyone's like, boo. And I was like, okay.
Remember my name. You know it now.
I was like, okay, zoom, I'm going in a different direction. Okay, I'm not a singer. But that's so awesome that you have that. So that just doesn't, I mean, so Amanda has that. Amanda has the singing. You're always busy. You're always performing at your churches. Yeah. And multiple churches.
Multiple churches, working with worship teams, playing for funerals. Everyone's like, you're the funeral singer instead of the wedding singer. But yeah, I am. But I enjoy playing funerals because it allows me to use my gift to comfort families in such a hard, you know, traumatic time in their life. So it's just, it does my soul well to be able to offer my gift.
Man, that takes a certain personality because that's scary. Yeah. I mean, I'm Mexican, so we have a huge family. So we're going to, unfortunately, you know, 2 to 3 funerals a year. And it doesn't matter how many funerals you go to. There's that weird, you know, eerie feeling. So for you to perform, wow, that's amazing. So how do you prep for that? Do you mind me asking?
And I just did one today, one of my friends, good friends.
Oh, you did.
Her father passed away, so I was able to serve their family. But my dad, you know, I love my dad. Rest in peace. He pushed me, you know, quick story. All of my brothers and sisters were made to take lessons, right? But I'm the only one that they made stick to it.
Wow.
Yeah, all of those other ones, I know you're listening right now. They're like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, you need to make her stay with it. So I'm the only one that really stuck with it. So my dad's a really good friend. His name is Mr. Tillman. He owns Tillman Riverside Mortuary.
Okay.
He did a service at my dad's church. And he was like, you know, your daughter sings really well, you know, and plays. And my dad's like, yeah, she'll be great. You should hire her to work at your mortuary. And
how old were you?
Like probably, 20-something.
20-something. Okay, so I think when you're younger, you kind of are just able to cruise on in and just like do your thing. A little scary, but when you're young, everything's new. So it's like you're kind of like, used to that. But when you're older, it's like, I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying when you're old, because girl, you look good. But when you're older, it's kind of like, it's probably like nursing and all those other occupations. It takes a certain personality to serve for a funeral.
It does. And probably because I grew up, being with my father and doing a lot of services, whatever type of services, I kind of was like, not really groomed for it, but just I was able to see it and to adjust to being in that type of service and knowing my role that I play in the service. So.
I did not know that about you, that you serve for funerals. So that's good to know. And I also have an entrepreneurial friend out in Riverside who owns a mortuary.
Oh, really?
So I have to hook you guys up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to do, but there's money behind it.
That's so weird, but I just love it so much.
It's part of life. And that's just how it goes. So not only is Ehmandah a musician and just like completely busy, constantly creating, you are also an entrepreneur.
I am.
Yes. Tell us about that. Tell us who influenced you to jump in and what year was it and what was your first job?
Jeez. Probably seeing my dad start a church. Well, I wasn't around when he started a church, but having a church and seeing him just dedicate his entire life to serving people. I think that's where I really got my entrepreneur spirit from.
Of course you did. Yeah.
And I always say this, like, I'm like a former Denise Huxtable, okay? Anybody that knows me, I have a friend named Sherry in high school. Like, my sister was like, when you were a kid, you used to always want to have parties, right? You always want to host a party. You had a little fake restaurant, at the house, and kids would come over with a little counter, like, welcome to my restaurant, So I've always had that, like, entrepreneur spirit.
Yeah.
And so throughout, like, high school, like, I used to be a clown, had a clown business.
Tell us about that, please.
I don't know what was wrong with me.
So you used to dress up as a clown?
Yes.
And what would you do? Just go to parties, I'm hoping?
I had a few parties that I did, but it didn't last that long. I was like, I don't know if that's for me.
And where did you get your clown outfit from?
I made it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So there it is. There again, your creative
some things
side.
Together and, then I did.
Popped on a nose.
Yeah, did some face painting. I had a lingerie business. I mean, I've done a
wow.
lot. I've done a lot, April.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I've like jumped here and there. I had this thing called reminiscing, where I would sing for elderly facilities.
Oh my goodness!
Singing songs from their era, because I love the Rat Pack and Frank Sinatra and all that, and so
love them.
Show tunes, Vegas, all that. So I would go around to different senior citizen facilities and sing songs from their era, and I was just like, I love that too, because I love that music, and they just lit up like lights,
Of course they did.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But please tell me you didn't take your lingerie business too. Because I heard I heard things get pretty, they're busy in there. I have no idea.
Little fun in there.
Yeah, why not, Oh my goodness. So that's super cool. So all the way since you were little, you just had that entrepreneurial like thing inside you.
Yeah. And I just had to figure out like what was the thing that I wanted to do, because like I said, I'm a former Denise Huxtable. Remember she had the Gordon Cottrell shirt. She was like a fashion designer, and then she was this, and then she was that. That's me. Like I was like all over the place, and I had an interesting conversation with one of my friends. She's like, you got to figure out what you want to do.
Not really.
And I'm like, well, I'm multi-passionate.
Yeah.
So I have to find something that I can just like, this one thing that is me that I can branch out and have multiple streams in doing. And the number one thing is community. I love community. I love bringing people together. I love making people feel good. So music was definitely it.
Yeah.
And then it went from there to me starting a co-working space that I had in Claremont.
Which I reached, for those of you tuning in, I had this idea to start this whole thing. I've always had Rag House Radio since 2015, but I was in someone else's business, utilizing their equipment, Chaotic Radio, which I loved. And, but then clean, I was like, I want my own. So I actually reached out to Ehmandah, and, with your space, what do they call it? The co-op space or co-working space. And I just pictured in my head when I was calling you, I bet you she has a little room for me and I can leave all my equipment and go there. And then you didn't have a room available.
Yeah.
which is a good sign, which is a good thing. You know, you were busy, and then COVID happened, and then I was just like, oh my goodness, you know, what am I going to do? Actually, for me, that helped me because then we had an extra room, and I popped this thing up here. But yeah, so I was thinking of you.
Yeah, and just that community, right?
Yes.
You met through somebody else, and just always have stayed connected, and that's just what I love. I live and I breathe community. I've always wanted. Here go the kid in me. I always wanted to go into a place and have like a cafe or something, and there's like Bob is like, "Hey Amanda, how you doing? Hey Bob, how's the kids? You know, hey Michelle, how's life going?" I love that feeling. It reminds me of Cheers.
I was just gonna say that. I watch Cheers all the time.
You want to go where everybody knows your name, right?
Yes, exactly.
Seriously, that's what I wanted. So. Having a co-working space was that for me.
How fun.
Yeah.
I wish you know what, it wasn't meant to be. Because when I reached out, that's when, you know, everybody had to stay home. But I literally was like, I had it all painted in my head. Okay, I know she's going to have a spot for me. And then when you're like, no, I don't have any room, I think I almost cried. Because I was just like, I had to be somebody I trusted too, you know. I saw you were an actual entrepreneur. You had a business. You were a hard worker. You were passionate. So, but that's a whole other thing. So what I want to do right now actually is play one of your songs. Oh, yes. And this has to be one of my favorite songs. I love the fact, I got to throw it out, I love the fact that you have music on all different genres. It's touching all different styles, which I absolutely love. Because it's always good when you have a famous or a favorite artist or a band, but in one genre. But the fact that you touch everything. So here, I'm going to play... Good. This is Good by Ehmandah. And by the way, it was attached to her video promo. And when I put it on Instagram, a lot of the women were like, ooh, I like that song. Here it is.
I'm gonna clap my hands. Come on, y'all. I'm gonna leap for joy.
Make sure I do this.
That's all right.
Let's go. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Makes you happy.
Yeah, right.
Come on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go. When I was lost, couldn't find my way, your mighty hand was reaching out for me. You bring love. Through all of my trials, you've been there for me. Because of your love, I walk in liberty. You bring love.
Man, I can hear that song all the time. That's good. What year did you release that?
Probably 2013.
2013.
Yeah.
This is like a power song.
Yeah.
This needs to be on the radio. Everybody needs to know this song.
I love it.
It's a good feel. Like you just right away you just want to start moving.
Yeah.
I even saw Richard moving back there.
I saw his shoulders moving a little bit.
I saw him
Come on,
moving.
Richard.
Richard's our tech producer, video guy back there dancing also. I love that song. Who's the whole power behind that?
My friend Isaac J. Phillips. He's a producer from the East Coast, and he's worked with like Michael Jackson, Aaliyah, all these different people. And we met through a mutual friend, and that's his grandma in the beginning talking. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's like, I have a great idea for a song, and we worked on it, and that's what it came to be.
And that's his grandma from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is she still alive?
She passed away.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was she able to hear the finished product?
I don't think so. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. It was my mom was able to hear this, which was great. My mom passed away in 2015.
Oh,
and
okay.
I
My
recorded this
condolences.
song right before she passed away, and she still loved this song.
I love this. Who wouldn't love this song?
Right? And it made her feel good. And she died, like I said, in 2015. In the summer of 2015, I did a show at the Mint. With a full band.
Out in LA? Yeah.
Full horn section, and she was there.
Oh my
at 80
God.
years old in the club to see me perform. And that was the last time that she saw me perform. So it's just like, this song right here. So many memories attached to it.
So many good memories on all the different levels.
Yeah.
Of just, wow, that's strong. Such a strong like story behind that. Right when I heard it, when you sent it over to me, I was like, yeah, like I was happy. It just makes you. And then when I saw it was only 3 minutes and 3 minutes 21 seconds, I'm like, I want it to be like 5-10 minutes long, so I could listen and dance to it. So that's Good by Ehmandah. And if you're just tuning in, Ehmandah is amazing. Entrepreneur, musician, singer, songwriter, producer. She does everything. She's had a clown business. She had she had her own co-working space, and there's so many more journeys I could just see you going on. I just don't think it's ever going to stop with Ehmandah. Never going to stop. Never. So right now it is time for giveaway. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I'm going to throw out my number. Now I know Ehmandah, I heard her she was live on Instagram and Facebook, just giving everybody a heads up that we were going to go live. She's like, give us a call. Well, you could call, and right now you could win from Whole Life Soaps. They're out of Wrightwood, California, and they're made by natural ingredients like shea butter and coconut oil. Their soaps won't dry your skin. They smell great, and they leave you feeling clean. Whole Soaps is also a local SoCal family-owned business. And remember, what you put on your body is as important as what you put into it. So visit wholelifesoaps.com today. They have amazing stuff. I love that it doesn't dry your skin because I always get really, really dry skin. I take my vitamins and drink a lot of water. I don't know what's going on. But check them out. So we have a bar of soap. It's one of their favorites. It's their best sellers. They're always out of it. We want to give that away right now. Call us. If you're the first caller, you get to win this. Plus, you get to talk to Ehmandah.
Yes, call me.
What's up? Yeah. Call 909-477-7321. Again, 909-477-7321. You get to talk to us. Plus, you win a bar of Whole Life Soaps from Wrightwood, California. So let's see if we get a caller coming in. But until then, I just have to say, Ehmandah, I'm so excited to hear all your other stories that are going to be coming up and all your journeys like we had just mentioned, and another song. And let's see. Don't be afraid. We won't bite you. Right?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Guys, so you can win, and then let's chat.
Yeah, let's chat. And my Bluetooth is on. So, okay, so we'll just keep going here. Now, we have another song called The Rebirth that we want to play. Tell us about that.
Cool. So the song's called Music. It's by the band
Oh,
Rebirth.
music.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a band, Rebirth. I joined the band probably, I don't know, in the 2000s, the teens, yeah. Birthed out of the vision of Shane Reese, which his father happens to be Royal Reese of Calvary Chapel, Golden Springs, and Diamond Bar.
Oh, okay.
He's a guitar player, and they were looking for a singer. I auditioned, and boom, I made the band.
Wow.
So we made this amazing record that's like infused with hip hop and funk and neo soul. So this song is called Music. The album is available. All my music is available online on all streaming platforms.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Let's check it out.
For years, I couldn't know my pain. I couldn't make me smile, change me, help me believe in love. Sometimes it even makes me cry. It's the way that music moves your soul, makes you feel good no matter if you.
Man, all your songs are so fun.
Yeah.
Do people just start smiling when you start performing?
Yeah, they love it. I pulled them in. Let's go, guys. We came here to have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait till this COVID is up so I could go see you live.
Me too. I can't wait to perform.
You must be just like dying to get out there as an artist.
I am.
Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine, because I know my fiance, he's a drummer, and he's just, I remember when COVID first started, he's like, we're going to go practice at the lockout. I go like, hell you are, dude. It's COVID. And so they just started.
Yeah.
They're doing it safe, but it's just he was just itching to get out there. So I'm sure you're feeling the same thing.
Yeah, you miss it.
I'm sure.
You miss the vibe.
Geez. Okay, so let's talk about what you have up and coming. Yeah. Do you?
Well, let's see. Well, I currently have something called She Stories going on right now.
Yes, and She Stories is so successful.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
It's been pretty awesome. So in 2017, because I love community, and because I grew up in church, I wanted to have a safe place for women to share about their life experiences and share their story. I was a survivor of domestic violence with my ex, and thank God I had an amazing family, amazing sisters and mom, where I was able to share my truth with them, and they also shared stories with me. And I know a lot of women don't have that, so I said, let me provide a space for women to do that. And then the church connection is every first Sunday they would do this thing called testimony service at church, right? Where some old lady would get up and start a song, and and then she'll say, I just want to thank God for everything He's done for me. I've been through this and I've overcome, or He answered my prayer. And I was like, wow. At the time, as a kid, I just didn't know the value of it.
Right.
I didn't even want to be there. Okay.
I'm
like, can we go home?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Right? I'm hungry. I'm tired. Ain't hardly nobody here. Let's go. That's a PK for you, right? That's how we think. But as I grew older, I saw the value of it. So one day I just had this idea. I call it a God idea. I'm like, man, I want to do this thing, a storytelling night for women. So I searched the web storytelling nights. And most times it was based on funny stories. Or, it just wasn't any
music or sports or
and it was live storytelling. Everyone gave 5 to 7 minute story, but it was nothing like I wanted to do. So I did my research and kind of grabbed different ideas, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do a storytelling girl stories, something stories. I don't know. I'll just call it She Stories.
So good.
So I launched out of my hairstylist salon in South Pasadena.
Your hairstylist?
Yeah, he was like...
your hairstylist.
Yeah,
I thought you said...
No,
I was like, you're a hairstylist too, Amanda?
No,
I'm like, man, what don't you do?
Denise Huxtable lives inside of me, but she is quiet. Okay? I have her under control.
Yes,
I'm not a hairstylist. Oh my gosh. But my hairstylist, Brenton, from Brenton Lee Salon in South Pasadena, he was like, hey, I believe in you. Because when you get your hair done, you talk to your stylist all the time.
You're there for 10 hours, yeah.
Well, actually with him, he had, some assistants, so I wasn't there a long time.
Ooh, nice.
He's great. Really great. A master colorist, by the way. I love Brenton. But, we would share a lot of information with each other, and he was an entrepreneur as well. So he's like, you know what, I believe in you, Amanda. Just launch here. You can use the space. So I started out.
How cool was he to do that?
Yeah, super cool. I started out with 4 storytellers. His wife happened to be one of them.
Nice.
About being an entrepreneur.
Very cool.
And I had a really nice crowd there, had food, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Did the second one on being a single mom. So all the stories that I decided to tell in the beginning stages of it were things that had to do with me. My personal story. And so we did being a single mom, and then that turnout wasn't great, and I was getting a little scared, is this really
I would have been there. Yeah.
I was like, should I do this? There's only a few people there. So then from there, fast forward to today, we've had over 100 stories told.
Wow.
We've done it with men and women and kids as well.
Nice.
Did
Yes.
Special curated shows for that, but She Stories is a storytelling night for women, where we promote wellness, sharing your real story, owning your story, and then also sisterhood. So we have storytellers, about 6 of them. They come and share their real story. They have about 7 minutes. We have music in between, a live female artist. We have female entrepreneur vendors that are there that are showcasing their product. And then we have a therapist that comes up at the end of the storytelling night to help the women deal with all the triggers and what to deal or what resources are available for them after this.
And that's perfect, because a lot of times you could do all that, but if there isn't something at the end to assist, then, where do they go? What, so they just poured their heart out, but then what? You know?
Because, and I think about growing up as a kid, a lot of times people would go to church or to their pastor for support rather than go to a therapist, right? That would be the first spot that they go. So I was like, you know what? I need to have a therapist here. I know you'll come here, you'll share, and you'll receive mental health services a little bit more easier in this space. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Getting a little bit more comfortable with receiving the services, and then it will make you feel comfortable enough to where you will make the call to a therapist. And I've seen that.
Yes.
I've seen that. So it's just been amazing because mental health is important.
It's so important. It is so important. And not until I became a single mom did I really start focusing on that, because I had literally had a plan for my whole life. I'm going to travel. I'm going to go to Europe. I'm going to go to school in Europe. And then I'm going to, get married and then have a kid. But in those plans, it wasn't to separate and become a single mom when my son was really young. And that devastated me. I needed help. Like I even told my mom and dad, I'm like, I'm going to need to talk to somebody immediately. And I too, unfortunately, there was domestic violence involved. So, so that's cool. But I couldn't go to my church because I was born and raised Catholic. And so I felt my personal experience, it's not everyone's, but I felt that was a place where I grew up where it was safe. But then when shit really hit the fan in my life and I was looking for somebody to reach out to, there was a lot of judgment and there was a lot of, you're a single mom, we don't want. So unfortunately, that was my experience. I'm not saying that's how Catholicism is in general.
And that's a lot of other people's experiences with church as well.
It's not a safe place.
Yes, and there's some really great churches out there that are very open and very transparent and receiving of everyone. But then there are some churches where you will receive judgment. Right. And it's just really based on that individual church and the pastor and the leadership.
Exactly. It doesn't speak for all the churches.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Yeah. So, so that was so She Stories. Oh my goodness. Amazing. Yeah. Blew up.
Yeah.
And everybody started coming.
Yeah.
Breaking down the doors.
People sharing stories that they thought they would never tell.
That's big. That's big.
Most of the storytellers reached out to me. I put a post, hey, looking for storytellers. They reach out through Instagram.
Of course they did.
And they get up there and they're like, I'm nervous. Should I have cards? Whatever. It just, hey, share from your heart. Because it's such a freeing experience. And I've talked to so many women, like, they were so nervous when they were at the mic. I didn't know what I was going to say or how
everyone
I was
looking at them. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anybody, because I usually give comp tickets to that person. Invite one or two people that
Oh,
that
nice.
Can be your tribe, your support system.
Sure.
Because it's a scary thing to share your story.
Oh, especially if you're not like you and I, where we like being behind the mic and, in front of people.
Especially if you haven't, or if you're still in the process of owning it.
True.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we don't want to share our story because we're afraid of judgment. There's a lot of shame behind sharing your truth and thinking
vulnerability.
Everybody
knows now your secret or your thing that you didn't want to, and rightfully so. It's yours. It's yours. But that was awesome. I remember seeing She Stories on. Are you going to open that back up? Or are you going to bring it out?
We did a digital one last month called Hey Mama.
Okay.
And it was really awesome, and so we're hoping as everything starts opening up, we'll do more live shows because it's just an amazing thing.
Oh gosh, so strong, so powerful.
Lives are changed. People develop relationships and sisterhoods.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Support and just, oh, hey, what's up? Yeah. I love that story. I love She Stories. So you also have another journey coming up.
Yes.
Possibly.
Do tell.
So Amanda, I was like, Amanda, come on in. She was actually interested in starting her own online radio segment. Video podcast is what people are starting to roll into. And I said, come on in, girl. We're here. Rag House Media has her doors open. And so she came on in and hopefully she starts with us. Yeah. But she's thinking of purchasing and starting her own, which is awesome. Yes.
Shout out to Steven Taylor, okay? This ain't me. It's all you.
But her segment will be called Represent. And you want to go ahead and explain what this segment will be about?
Yeah, for sure. So I already have an existing podcast called Hey Sugar.
Uh-huh.
Everybody knows that's my term of endearment from growing up. A lot of old people from the South be like, hey, Sugar.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
So I say it all the time.
You know, my fiance's mom was actually born in Georgia, and she had a lot of that Southern.
Really?
She even told me one time, "You better not be getting sweet on her about a." That's how I'm sure you've heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
But then when she first said, I was like, and then I'm like, oh, I get it. I get what she's saying. But I thought, and I still use it.
Do you
know?
really?
Oh, but you better be loving all over my son. Do you hear that one
Yeah.
too? Loving over my, or I forget how they do it, but it's just so cool. Anyways, I had to. Sorry, I interrupted you, but I had to throw that in.
So I have Hey Sugar existing already, but I wanted to get into online radio. I've been thinking about it for a while now.
Yeah.
And it kind of just really encompasses everything that I do and sharing stories. And so, hey, this is another platform for me to talk to people that are in the industry about their faith.
Right.
People that are in music and culture about their faith. So I'm excited about that. You
Yes.
guys will learn more later.
I can't wait. And so hopefully Ehmandah will start her Represent right here while she's getting her brick and mortar going.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you know what? I'm all about you succeeding in your own,
I know you are.
Yes. So regardless if you start a couple segments here or if you purchase this tonight and you do your thing, then yeah. But Ehmandah, where can we find you? Where can all your fans find you?
You can find me on the gram.
On the gram.
Yeah, Ehmandah. I have 2 grams merging, but
Uh-huh.
Ehmandah or Amanda Ramsey. All on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then music available everywhere.
On SoundCloud, Ehmandah.com. Let me spell this. EHMANDAH.com.
That's right.
I kept looking at it the whole time. I was just like, I can't get this wrong because that's like a no-no. You cannot misspell someone's name or artist's name. Or was that the name you were born with?
No, I was born with the apple pie Amanda.
Amanda.
Yes, but my producer and I was like, I want to be different. I want to be set apart. Let's do something different. So he's like, phonetically. Ehmandah.
Ehmandah. And you are not a apple pie.
I love apple pie, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not even saying that in the bad way either. I'm just
Right.
saying when I see you, I'm just like that.
Yeah.
You need a strong name because you're a strong woman.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming over to Rag House Media, the first segment of Rag House Radio, interviewing, promoting, and supporting girls and women in music, sports, entertainment, and business. So excited to have Ehmandah in here. Not only are you a musician, you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have your own segment coming up, Represent.
Yeah.
We can't wait to hopefully, help you along, assist you along on that.
Yeah.
If you want to reach out to her, please do. Any shout outs before we go, Ehmandah?
Man, I want to shout out my family. They've always supported me 100%, and I just love them and everybody that has supported me throughout my crazy journeys, right?
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah.
I know my poor family. I know they were just like, you're 47 and what are you starting and where and how are you going to get money?
It's never too late to start. You're never too old to start something. Do what you love.
Exactly. And you know what, Ehmandah? I still feel young.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's like, things happening here and there, gray hairs, whatever stuff. But I seriously feel like I'm always a kid. I'm always giggling. I'm always just like, eh. So, it's always how I feel.
It makes you feel good. And that's
It makes you feel good.
do what you love and love what you do.
Exactly. We love you, Ehmandah.
Love you too.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm going to blast this song, and can you please sign our banner?
Sure.
Thank you.